Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Lights, Camera, Waffle. I'm your host Zkiel. And yeah, I really thought I wasn't gonna like do an episode this week, but clearly there's always something to talk about. So this week, guys, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. None of this rambling on and on, you know. But I do want to say thank you to all the people who watched my last episode, who watched the first episode. Really appreciate it. Like, it is a lot of that. It was a lot of people. That was a lot of people. That's like 2 classrooms full of children, because it got like 60 something views, which a lot of people might not think is a lot, but like when you actually put it to hindsight, that's like 60 something people who actually like sat and listened to you for like a significant amount of time. But yeah, let me just right. So yeah, guys. So thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about TYLA and what's currently going on with her, and exactly kind of trying to understand what the root of the problem is. You can probably tell by the title. This episode is called "What's the Problem with TYLA?" I'm just gonna start off by just saying like TYLA has been through, especially lately. Lately, TYLA has been through a lot when it comes to like social media. People just like people making it seem like she's just unlikable. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how it all started. Get down to the the nitty gritty, to the bee's knees. And yeah, that's what we're really going to do. That's what we're going to talk about today. Nothing new, nothing different, I guess. But yeah, if this is your first time listening to me, hi, my name is Zkiel. Like, comment, subscribe on this video, share, and yeah, let's get into why exactly TYLA is facing so much scrutiny, shall we say. Right, so we're gonna start at where I started to see people not really like TYLA. I'm not gonna do this in like timeline order because I don't really know what came first, what came second. But it was after, it was either, so basically, as a lot of people, as you might know, TYLA won the Grammy for Best Afrobeat, I think. I'm not sure what she won the Grammy for. But she won the Grammy against people like, I believe, Burna Boy, Asake, Ira Star, Davido. Like, she went up against some really big names in Afrobeats at the moment, and she won a Grammy, and people thought that she didn't deserve the Grammy. People were saying that, and I can't lie. I know I didn't think she deserved the Grammy. I think personally that it's way too early in her career to have such an accolade like a Grammy. And we're seeing this with a lot of artists, like they're getting like viral success very, very quickly, and they don't know how to manage it. They don't know about the grind. They don't know about the experiences, what you have to put into your work. They have one hit song and it will blow up. And next thing you know, they're nominated for Grammys. They're doing performances here, there, and they don't know how to manage it. They don't know what to do. They haven't, they're going up against, especially with the new people that are coming into the industry, they're going up against people who have been doing this for, 10 or so years, who have the experience, who have done, I don't know, the boot camps, and have, learned about, and they've been able to learn about what to do and what not to do in private. Whereas everything now, it's like, if an artist comes up with a bop of a song and they start touring and doing this and the fourth, people expect them to be on the same level as someone who's been doing this for 10 years, and that's just not realistic at all. So me personally, I feel like TYLA, I would say that she's probably been doing this for a while in South Africa, but she's really become a global star in like the last year or so. So to have a Grammy in like the first year or so of your career, in my opinion, it's just like, what does a Grammy mean anymore? Like, what does it actually mean? What does a Grammy actually mean now? Like, is it just another award? Like, and I feel this is the thing about award shows. Like, with awards, and this is why award shows never work, right? When it's voted based, the artist with the biggest fan base is obviously going to win because they're going to get the most votes, right? But if it's like a committee base, like the Grammys, it's very much biased, especially when it comes to things of black culture. They have a certain group of people who might not be accustomed to such music or variety. So when it comes to things like the Grammys, like, especially when it's like a committee based thing, like, it just seems like it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because like this group of people who selected it, they might not be a diverse group of people. And most of the time, it comes out that they're not. They're not a diverse group of people. You know, they're a bunch of, you know, older Caucasian people, maybe. You know, there are a few younger people of color on the committee, but overall, like, you can pretty much buy a Grammy if you're on the good side of someone on the committee. You can pretty much buy a Grammy. You can pretty much buy any award, which is what I think some artists are doing. We won't name names, but I have a few in my mind who I just feel like don't deserve all the awards and all the accolades that they're getting. But you know, that's besides the point. Let's get back to TYLA, right? So yeah, she got a Grammy in the first year or so of her global successful career, which, you know, is great and she should celebrate it. Water was a good song. However, did she deserve a Grammy for that? We don't know. I personally don't think I don't think that was the peak of her career. I hope that wasn't the peak of her career. I think she can do a lot better. But, you know, that's neither here or there. So, between that and then also there's questions about her race. In South Africa, I believe I don't know much about like what goes on in South Africa in terms of race, but I believe that there's like a group of people called colored people, and in America, especially with the African Americans, using the term colored is quite offensive. So obviously that's what TYLA identifies in South Africa. I believe that she is mixed. So in South Africa, that's what she identifies as. She identifies as a colored woman. In South Africa, you know, that's just the norm. That's the norm. There's certain things that you say in South Africa that aren't really, I wouldn't say not good, but they're not exactly like. The wording is different for it. Like it affects people differently outside of South Africa or wherever your culture is from. So she was calling herself colored. She was a colored woman, and African Americans didn't like that. I think a lot of people say that why is she profiting off black culture? She's not black. This and the full blah blah blah. And apparently in South Africa, it's a different meaning to be black and to be colored. You know, and I think, because she is South African, of course she's going to go about what she's grown up to know. In South Africa, she is a coloured woman, she's a mixed woman, and coloured people, you know, tend to do better than people who are black people in South Africa. Apparently, this is all like alleged or what I've heard. I haven't done too much research into it because, to be honest, I'm not that interested in it. She said she's a coloured woman. Well, okay, like, she's coloured. Like, as long as she's not being racist, but like, you know, I couldn't care less about what she identifies herself as. She could identify herself as a loaf of bread. You know, that's really her own business. But yeah, with that being said, a lot of African Americans didn't like the fact that she was saying that she's coloured. And they just couldn't wrap their head around the difference in culture. And like, seems to be, sorry, just need to grab some water. This seems to be a recurring pattern when African Americans have some sort of beef or issue with someone of a different culture. It's almost like they refuse to believe that, you know, other cultures out there exist, a different way of speaking, a different way of living. It's exactly like that. And it's a bit annoying. So yeah, they had a whole cow with her about, you know, her calling herself colour, blah blah blah, etc etc. Okay, cool. That whole issue is still going on. People are still upset about that. Now we're moving on to the most recent thing at the VMAs. This is where I was like, oh, you guys just want to hate her. You just want to hate TYLA, and it's so blatantly obvious. So at the VMAs, she won Best Afrobeat, I believe, for Water again. And she was coming onto the stage. First of all, I want to say that I really did like her speech about, like, it's very, very, you know, it's this blah, 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 blah. Sorry. There is a tendency to just group all African artists together under Afrobeats, where it's not Afrobeats per se. You know how we have different genres. You know, there might be Afro pop, Afro jazz, Afro this, Afro that. But it's very like a lot of it's very common to just group it under Afro beats. And I really did like that she, you know, made that point. I think that is something that's very important. Anyway, so she made that point, but before she made that point, when she was getting her award, so Halle gave her the award, and you know, Halle was gonna stand next to Lil Nas X, and then Tyler said, "Oof, you know me and awards, I can't hold an award. Can you please hold this?" From the camera angle, it looked like she was looking at Halle, and Halle was standing there like, "Oh, girl, I'm not, I'm not taking that. That is, yeah, it is heavy. It is heavy." And she, like, Tyler was just like, "Oh, can you please take it? Can you please take it?" And then Lil Nas X, you know, took it and held it for her. People saw this as she's a snob, she's rude, she's this, she's that, she's XYZ. And I was just like, because she didn't want to hold a trophy, I was like, okay, I don't get where you're coming from, but whatever. And then I saw another angle from a different perspective, from like near, like behind her, and she was for sure looking at Lil Nas X. She was not looking at Halle. People try to make it seem like, oh, her, like she was being rude to Halle. It was an awkward interaction. And then she went online and she was like, "You guys are being very, very weird." Tyler went online and she said, "You guys are being very, very weird. You're being weird. You're being weird. Like weirdos. You're being weird." Okay? She was like, "It's absolutely nothing but love between me and Halle. Like, what the hell?" And then Halle replied, she said, "Exactly. Like, you guys are being very, very weird over a trophy." And people try to make it a whole thing that Tyler is rude. Tyler is this. She's what's it called? She's not humble. She's this, that, and the fool. They try to make it seem like Tyler was this tyrant of a woman. You know, they really want Tyler to be like the rude diva. And I've just got to say, yeah, if you're at this point in your career and you're getting like diva accusations, people calling you a diva, people saying you're rude, this and the fourth, you might be here to stay. You might be here to stay, because a lot of artists who have been here for a very long time have been accused of being divas. You know, Beyonce, Rihanna, Ariana Grande, Christina Aguilera, Lady Gaga. You know, all of these artists have been accused of being divas, accused of being rude. Like, but it's just like, no, I'm just confident in myself. So the fact that was a whole thing on itself. Her not wanting to hold the VMA award, which, by the way, is I heard that it is actually quite heavy to hold. I saw a video of Olivia Rodrigo that someone posted on Twitter where Olivia was holding hers and she was like, "Can someone please hold this? It is so heavy." Like, first of all, why is that trophy so heavy? Well, I guess it's a good quality trophy. But yeah, the trophy was very heavy to hold. And I also saw another clip on Twitter of Tyler asking someone to hold her Billboard award as well. And she was like, "Can someone please hold this for me?" She's like, she just can't. She doesn't have upper body strength. You know, like, you know, she makes it me harder. Everything is lower body. All that Bacardi and you know, what's it called? Not a Sambe. Or the highball and whatever. Like, it's all lower body. Like, she has no upper body strength, it seems. And, you know, that's fine. That's cute. That's cool. And, you know, that's why you all need men to hold your awards for you and shit. But yeah, so that's what happened with that. People just tried to make it seem like the whole VMA thing. People were saying that apparently she pushed her assistant, where she literally gave her assistant a tap because her assistant was trying to hold her dress or something like that and following her. And she tapped her assistant. She was like, "No, it's fine. Like, you don't have to do that." You know, and her assistant stayed back. And people were like, "Oh, she's pushing her. She did it." I said, "Raw, like, you guys need to get alive. You need to get alive." And now people are saying that she's rude, that she's cocky, she's entitled, she's this, that, and the fourth. And something that really, really got to me, there is a blogger or like social media brother called Armon Wiggins. And he is, como se dice, he's a bit wishy-washy, you know. He's definitely said and done some things that I've just been like, ugh. But then he's also said and done some things that I've just been like, okay, cool. Like, he's made some good points in certain situations. He's like, I don't know. He's just a bit, like, he's okay, but like, he's not, you know, whatever. He's just whatever. Anyway, Armon Wiggins went to make a tweet that got everyone very, very angry. And not just angry, like everyone was now just quote tweeting it. And I'll read it right here. So this is what he said. He said, "Hey, I don't think I like Tyla's personality. I think someone needs to check her because I don't understand, because she doesn't understand American culture at all. She almost gives off entitled or uppity African. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very off-putting. And it's almost like she expects people to just fall at her feet. Or because she didn't want to hold an award, she got called an uppity African." And this is where people were like, okay, now, like, the African Americans, you can't comprehend. You're telling her that she doesn't understand American culture. You don't understand her culture. You don't understand her African culture. You don't understand the South African culture. When she says certain things, it's because that's how she's been brought up to say them. A girl is confident. Oh, she's an uppity African. Bearing in mind, Burna Boy's ego is, there's a reason why they call him the African giant. That's how big his ego is. He's a very big ego. The way he talks very highly of himself, is very cocky, and there's nothing wrong with that. But he gets called the the giant of Africa, or the African giant. That's what he gets called. But Tyla's called an uppity African. She's entitled because of what? Because she's doing the exact same thing. Because she's pretty and she knows it. Like, I feel like African Americans, they have this thing against Africans in general. I don't know what it is. Africans and Jamaican. Like, they have this thing against people who, I'm sorry to say it, they have a thing against people who, like, know their heritage. And it almost comes off as, like, this victim mentality of, like, what happened in the past, all the slavery and everything like that. They make it seem like, oh, that they're the victim. And I hate the victim mentality that some of them actually play off. Like, okay, like, it was absolutely, there's no words to describe how terrible it is for your ancestors. But at the same time, don't keep acting like you're the victim here. Like, you have to, as much as she can understand, like, yeah, it means something different in the US being coloured, but you guys need to understand where she's coming from or where she's from. That's the term that is used. And that's that. Because, like I said before, someone who's in South Africa who is coloured has certain privileges more than someone who is considered black. And TYLA is acknowledging that, like, maybe, yeah, like, she's had that privilege. It's like, it's like how Zendaya acknowledges that, yeah, she is a black woman, but she is a light-skinned black woman and she does get certain privileges over a dark-skinned woman. It's the exact same thing. So people coming after TYLA saying that, especially that whole title, uppity African, it almost seems like African Americans, it's almost seems like African Americans, it's almost seeming like African Americans are saying to Africans that when you come to our country, you need to be extremely humble. You need to know your place. You can't be cocky. You can't be doing all this rah, rah, rah. You can't do all this rare tear, tear. You can't act like you're the shit. You have to simply just be humble. That's it. Don't show self-confidence. If you're confident, just calling someone entitled, an uppity African, because I'm sure of myself, that's crazy. That's wild. That's wild to me. Like I said, Americans just don't seem like they understand, like, culture in different places. And, like, a lot of Americans, it just seems like America believe that they are the world. They are the world. They believe that whatever happens in America is what's happening outside. And we see that through, them not knowing shit about the outside world. But there are other cultures, other behaviors that are acceptable elsewhere. Yes, we need to be aware of when we're going to different countries. For example, in this country, you can see an adult and wave to them, say hi. In a different country, maybe Japan, especially like Japan, Korea, China, respect is a very, very big thing there. You're going to be going around waving hi. I don't think so. But, like, there's a culture, there's a respect there. You bow at formal events. Things like that. The cultures vary. It's very different, and they just don't see. They don't think that. They just think that, oh yeah, you're supposed to be accustomed to this. TYLA is not from the Western world, so she won't be accustomed to the Western world ways and what goes on outside. So yeah, of course she's gonna keep acting like she's meant to be in South Africa. I don't think Tyla needs to change herself at all. I believe the problem is just that. Sorry, I believe the problem is that people just refuse to understand that this is who she is. This is how she's been brought up. The whole thing about her being rude and snobby and all of this is absolutely appalling. And to see African American, well, some African American, I'm not going to generalize, but to see some African Americans be so uptight and rude and just this victim mentality because we are Africans. I'm going to say it again. Americans, sometimes they don't understand that, you know, certain cultures, certain behaviors. And some things just aren't that deep. Bottom line, things just aren't that deep because an artist doesn't want to hold their award. They're cocky and they need to calm down, needs to be humbled. Be so for real. Because an artist didn't want to hold their award, because they've received some accolades that you might not agree with. I might not agree with Tyla having an award at this time in her career. Doesn't mean I'm going to shit on her about it. Like, be so for real. Like, I feel like African Americans need to actually chill on that front. And people just in general, hating for no reason. Come on, like, let's be so for real. Like, people just be hating for no reason now. Like, I hate people who just jump on the bandwagon of hate because they can. And we see it a lot. Like, I hate people who just be like, oh, I hate the Titanic. Why'd you hate the Titanic? Because... what? Like, there's nothing to do with like, oh, I didn't like the storyline. Oh, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like this. Like, no, like, you just hate him because you want to hate. And obviously, like, I'm not just going to say it's all African Americans, of course not. But I feel like a lot of them were getting angry with Tyla because of that whole situation. And I think that y'all need to chill. You need to chill. You need to know that it's just not that deep. It was never that deep. And it would never be that deep. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I want to talk about with Tyla and just like give my 2 cents into, because I feel like that whole situation was not needed. And now, and for someone to call her uppity African, I didn't like that. Or it was giving very much like, you know, when you come on my turf, when you're on my terrain, yeah, you meant to bow down. Like, it's making it very much like, oh, you're meant to respect us, like know your place type vibes. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So yeah, that was my 2 cents on the whole topic. I think y'all need to stop hating on people for no reason. Especially like hating on black women for no reason. Just because Tyla might be colored doesn't mean that she's not a black woman. She is a black woman in the general sense. Obviously in South Africa, there are different categories to it. But I'm sure if she came to the UK, you would consider her a black woman. If you went to America, you consider her a black woman. We consider them black women here, but when she said that she's colored, she's talking about what she's heard from when she was younger, from where she's come from. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, y'all just want to hate for no reason. It's the same way that y'all hated on Halle for not sharing her pregnancy. And then when she was sharing little videos and things, people were in the comments like, we don't care. She didn't want to share the pregnancy with us in the first place. Like, there's nothing to satisfy you. Like, why has like you could be the most perfect, kindest person on the entire planet. Someone will find something bad to say about you. You know? It's just really, really sad. But that's that. That's all I have to say on that topic, really. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did watch it to the end. If you did watch it to the end, I don't know, comment bubbles or whatnot. I don't know. Like this comment, like this episode, subscribe. I will see you on Monday. I'm going to try and film my next video on Friday because that's when I have a day off. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Follow me on my social media platforms. You can send me a message on there. And on Friday, actually, my new single is dropping, X More Times. I'm actually really, really excited. Guys, we're 4 days. 4 days until that song drops. Just under 4 days. Well, yeah. Roughly, because it drops at midnight. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But yeah, it's gonna be great. I really do love the song. I'm really working on some new music, working on my EP. I'm so excited for it, honestly. Like, this new me is I'm just so gassed. I'm gassed at my creative process. I'm gassed at where I am mentally, and I thank God for, you know, the things that he's helped me get through. I'm still working on myself and he's still working on me. And I just pray that, you know, I continue to just walk with him. Even when I fall astray, like, I find my way back. That's the most important thing to me. Like, I don't want to keep falling down, but when I do, I want to find my way back. I guess that's my little word of encouragement today. Find your way back, guys. Find your way back to love. Find your way back to God. Find your way back to the people who care about you, friends, whatever it may be. If you feel like you've fallen away from something that is really, really important to you, really, really dear to your heart, whether it's like your health goals, maybe you want to start going to the gym more, or you started but you fell off, find your way back. And I promise you, once you get there, you'll be like, damn, this is so good. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye. I hated that I just did that. I don't know what my exit's gonna be. Deuces? I just do deuces? Deuces.